Tyler, welcome to Leeds United. Welcome to Ellen Road. Happy to be here?
Super excited. Walking in for the first time, meeting people today at the training ground, coming to the stadium now. It's empty now, but I can't wait to play in front of a full crowd with the fans.
So what do you know about this football club?
A little bit. I've obviously watched a documentary, which is quite popular, and was able to learn a lot of important things about the club. But one thing for me is the passion. The fans of the city, what it requires to be a Leeds United player.
And you know about people will have talked about maybe what it's like when you step out the tunnel here in front of a full house?
So far what I've heard is that it's electric. Talking to my friends that have played in the Premier League, they say it's one of the best atmospheres they've ever played in. So now to have those fans supporting me is something special.
So what do you bring to the football club? What type of player are you?
A transitional player. I love to win the ball, press hard, run hard, and most importantly, compete to win. I'm the biggest competitor, so whatever it takes in order to win games, that's what I'm doing.
You've been playing in a very competitive league, in the Bundesliga. How has that experience been for you?
It's been really, really good. A lot of ups and downs, learning curves. Everything's been a learning process for me. Played under different coaches that have different styles of plays, which is I've had to adapt to and offer a wide variety of style of plays to my game. But for me, it's also one of the best leagues in the world. So I've been playing against good teams like Bayern Munich, Borussia Dortmund, and I think that set me up for success to come here now.
Because it's been quite a journey for you, hasn't it? Starting in the States.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, playing in MLS first in New York. I was able to start at a pretty young age and get a lot of games under my belt before transitioning to Leipzig.
Yeah, I noticed that you've played a lot of football, haven't you, for a young guy still?
Yeah, fortunately enough, my coaches have played me in some big games, big moments, giving me the experiences I've needed to gather experience as a young player. But playing in the biggest games in one of the most competitive leagues in the world is something I've always wanted to do.
Yeah, the Premier League, was that a lure as well, the chance to play in what many people say is the best league in the world?
For me, growing up, it was only watching the Premier League. That's all I had on the TV. So I would always turn that on and watch, every game, whichever I could get my eyes on. So for me, coming to the Premier League was always a dream of mine, and now I'm able to experience it.
So you'll have that high quality level of competition week in, week out here, won't you?
That's the most important thing for me. Playing against the best teams, playing against the best players, proving yourself to everybody. That's why I picked here.
I'm guessing that Jesse Marsch was maybe a factor in your decision as well, was he?
Absolutely. Jesse was a huge influence on my career so far for me. He's given me a lot of experiences as a young player that other players may not have received. So he was definitely a big influence, and also Victor, the sporting director, played a big role in this for me. There was not much convincing he needed to do for me to come here, but he had a great plan for me in place in order to develop as a person and important as a player.
And I'm guessing there are people in the group that you know as well, aren't there? So that you have friends, if you like, already.
Yeah, of course. Brendan Aronson, we play with each other for the national team. Jack Harrison, I've had the opportunity to play against him a bunch of times in MLS, and he's a great player. So, they made me really comfortable on the first day coming into the locker room, having great conversations with them. So, yeah.
And as a national team player, this is a big part in what's coming up for you, presumably, isn't it? There's a World Cup on the horizon.
Yeah, of course. Obviously regular playing time is important for me, and I want to have a big impact here as well. And, that will have a big effect on obviously how we can perform as a national team going into the World Cup.
You can have good banter with Daniel James about the forthcoming fixture, the Wales-USA game as well, can't you?
Unfortunately, I didn't get to see him today, but I'm excited to meet him and get to know him a little bit and, study his game a little bit before we have to play each other in the World Cup.
So between now and the first game of the season, you get involved, you throw yourself into it, and you try to make an impression, I guess.
100%. That's always the goal. Immediately make an impact as quickly as possible. And I know that, with my competitive spirit, I'm going to be able to do that.